Now, if there's one thing that we could all take away from 2017, I think that would be that YouTube is one of the most reliable platforms ever to have been created. I'm just playing. YouTube Rewind 2017. It's something that I've already done a reaction video to, because like every YouTuber, I'm trying to use YouTube to try and actually get back some of the stuff that they've forcefully taken away from me. Like my revenue. But not just my revenue, my dignity. But apparently, I'm not the only one. PewDiePie? iDubbbz? Where are they?
For 2017 YouTube Rewind,
I am not in it.
YouTube Rewind without PewDiePie is like the Avengers without Iron Man. It's just not an Avengers movie. You're almost kind of sitting through the entire thing, waiting for him to pop out somewhere at the end and maybe just shout a huge racist slur.
what a fucking...
But we didn't even get that payoff. Now, the reason why I'm still talking about YouTube Rewind after already doing a reaction video to it is because recently, over the last week since it's come out, all that's happened is creators have poured out of the woodwork talking about their horrible experience on YouTube Rewind. And honestly, I was surprised, because most of the people who get invited to YouTube Rewind are invited on purpose because they don't speak out about YouTube at all. And I don't think there's anything wrong with the creators who don't do that. They really are just playing to their best of interests, which on this website is hard. But the fact that people could be invited to this, who are meant to be on the safe side, and they could still do half-an-hour long videos detailing their experience of how awful it was, is incredible. Now, this all started when YouTube decided to feature some animators, which is pretty cool, judging that the 10-minute algorithm switch pretty much killed the entirety of the animation genre. Even if an animation video gets about 5 million views, if you got 1 million views and your video was 10 minutes long, you had some mid-rolls on there, you're making more than that video is. I don't necessarily believe this is completely YouTube's fault, although they have promoted the idea of challenge videos being above quality and time. But that's also how business works. The more that you could push out a project that gets more views, that takes less time, the more money your business is gonna make. And I think the worrying part is that YouTube is a self-learning algorithm. So it learned to kill off animation. It learned that animation was not what they wanted. But YouTube still decided that they'd feature some animators in, which is consolation, I guess. But if you watch the video, do you see the animators at all? No? No, you don't? Right at the outro, when they're doing all that, oh look who was in it bollocks, you see some drawings. Honestly, I don't even believe that the end screen things that they've got going on, shouting out all those channels, even works. Although I did check out Fat TV and I wasn't disappointed. But something that I personally didn't realise about YouTube Rewind came out via these animators being put at the end. And that's the fact that they weren't compensated for their time. Now, as somebody who's hired animators before, for about 5 to 6 seconds of work, that's like a few $100s. The depressing part is when Rebecca tried to promote the YouTube Rewind that she had animated for free, may I add, her video on it was demonetized. Now, I may add that YouTube did actually remonetize her video after all of the commotion, but at the same time, that's just icing on the cake, because she should have been paid for her work in the first place. Emma Blackery then came out with a staggering video where she details how she was basically left out and pretty much didn't even appear in the YouTube Rewind herself. Even though she was invited, even though she turned up to the set, she was left out in the cold to basically end up doing jack all. And I know it comes across as selfish, which is what she was scared of, and she shouldn't be scared of backlash at this point when people need to realise that YouTube is a business. There's money involved, you're gonna have to deal with that one. It's a job, whether people like that or not, and when you do a job, even if it's just turning up and dancing around in some paint, you should get paid. It's an appearance fee, it's an advert, you're an actor in it. You deserve some form of compensation for your time. Not just that, but the animator in Rebecca and the vlogger and singer in Emma didn't get compensated for their time and were pulled away from bigger projects that they were working on so that they could celebrate what YouTube was. And honestly, is that even possible to do after the year we've all had? There was some stuff that really resonated with me in Emma's video, and I understand how she felt, especially when YouTubers generally believe that when we talk about this stuff, we're being pretty selfish, because talking about money and your personal thing isn't really what we wanted our platforms to be for. But if we just let them trample over us, and this is the biggest way to get them to stop, what else can you do? So here's a few things that Emma said that I thought were incredibly interesting.
I am anticipating a massive backlash over this video, okay? Because I don't think there is any way that I could carefully word this without sounding a little bit entitled, a little bit arrogant. YouTube Rewind is the most self-serving, unprofessional, ill-judged piece of shit that YouTube could ever come up with. This year in particular was absolute shit for personal reasons, and also just the content of the video was terrible.
A lot of people watched the video that I did with Will and E where we reacted to the trailer and were very confused if I was being serious when I said that we deserved a spot in YouTube Rewind. Will probably, because he's done absolutely bits this year, and the fact that he wasn't recognised as a creator when more, and I hate to say it, people who really weren't doing anything for the platform managed to get in over him. It does seem a bit unjust, but it's not about the creators and it's not about the YouTubers. At the end of the day, it's an advertisement.
It became pretty clear to me, at least, that Rewind isn't really like in 2012 when I first saw it. I was like, okay, this is something cool that a lot of the creators are part of. It's to celebrate YouTube, but I mean, it's an advertisement. It's an advertisement for YouTube.
Which is why they could remove the #1 most subscribed YouTuber in PewDiePie, who literally didn't get invited, and do an ad for it. Pretending that YouTube is YouTube without PewDiePie is absolutely incredible. And recently, it's been very interesting for me to talk about YouTube stuff on this platform, and I'm sure it is for the creators who even got included in YouTube Rewind, because I have, even though I meme the fuck out of it, have been on the trending page quite a lot recently, and I am very grateful for that. It's not something that I ever imagined. I never believed 6 or 7 years ago that I would see my mug on the homepage of YouTube. And even saying this, I feel like I'm risking a pretty huge amount of my career by saying that it's still not good enough. And I don't mean that I deserve more, I don't mean that I deserve a YouTube Rewind spot. I mean that I'd sacrifice trending for the fact that the website just worked well and creators were getting compensated without having to being lifted up to be special chosen people to actually get their reward. It almost feels like, hey, you're trending, hey, we invited you to YouTube Rewind, try and complain less, dickheads, because we are doing some stuff for you. We've picked you over the other 500 people who deserve it more than you. And that's just a fact. Another YouTuber who turned down their invite to YouTube Rewind was Matthias, or Matthias. I have a lisp. He wanted YouTube to give him information on how the site works in return for him being involved. Because, let's face it, a lot of us are working with these people and doing them literal favours without actually knowing how they're affecting our business.
On that note about YouTube Rewind, I want to be very, very clear. This is a business move entirely. And this is an opportunity for me to talk to YouTube about why it's starting to really not make sense to be on this platform. This is not about arrogance. This is not about pride. This is about sending a message. Dear YouTube, we need the data that you're holding back from us.
I know it's not going to change. I wouldn't be bothered with YouTube Rewind being this Liza Koshy, Jake Paulfield advert if it was for the fact that the website itself was working originally. That's all I really could care about. You're allowed to have the colours and slime and everybody's having fun and we're all just goofy personalities. But at the same time, you won't have those goofy personalities if you continue to stamp on them. Well, that's my YouTube Rewind and trending page revoked for the whole of next year. And if they put me on it now, I believe it's like a double bluff, you know? You see, I'm double bluffing YouTube. If I don't ever trend again, it's because you're out to get me. You see that? I've caught you. If I'm not most subscribed by the end of the year, well, it was because of the YouTube Illuminati. I should have 100 million. You think the whole dyeing your hair pink thing would have helped? But feel like it's actually gone backwards for me. Anyway, I highly suggest that you check out channels like Emma Blackery, Rebecca, who was the animator, and Matthias, who was in it, as well as PewDiePie, because he does deserve some recognition, even with the 50 million subs, because, you know, he should have been in it. If you want to support this channel, we currently do have new Internet Sensation merch stuff up on internetsensation.shop. All profits go towards making this thing run. So that's nice of you. The channel has grown exponentially in the last few days and it's been crazy. So I just wanted to welcome all the new people and say, hopefully you're right. I mean, we'll get to like more niceties later, but you know, we've only just met. See you guys next time. Peace out, people, and have a good day.